hun hoi tak kamu the hi ke so pui tu te ho so se chun ki pak tu ge na ti gol kamu the hi tu ni ka thu ge an di le ke so general headquarter general secretary pa khan a foundation kha hong goi ta ama khan why to study ti pen kha hong gen ta ken how to study ti kha continuation hong bol di ka hi ama khan why takin the reason ho kha hong ka ta why we need to study we need to study even more better ti ho kha ma khan why takin a context ka hong ka ta zikha hong extending katin taking forward the discussion how to study ti kha hong gen di ka hi tu chung gali boy ti hoi gen phat le ken example hello le a connection ka draw phat le Japan te hi to ka draw se ka World War II zo kha Japan te kha boy ma wa Hiroshima to Nagasaki kha atom bomb in ang USA ten ang mat pha do kha they were reduced to zero kha hi azo kha within a span of 20-30 years our economy it grows so drastically tika hi zika a foundation ka yet what things did they do right after the war tika research certain hoi taka e tu le Japan te ohan they focus on education tika hi right after the war the education khana ma khan hoi takin reformation on bakhada skill education ti hovel how to put our youths into the workforce as soon as possible kio kan hoi takin education khong bol ta iti o khong bol pha do kha industry o hoi tigo long pung dok ta tu ni hin ye pha de le USA te khon le Japan te hoi competition abol pa puwin ti gen hel ama population ye do le just not even 10% of USA he le the economy is almost equal to USA he so hoi pha de le the focus on human resource ama khan right after World War II pe ko kha jo kha en le is of trading in kahe ti he tu ni ke so te member te tam tak te ho hi ti go le yung kho mo thun thu khat ka hong ge no chu le story khat 1999 la khan khwangzo khopi China kha ka thu gen kha hong pan jing ka he ti go kha road to success ka dan la hong ti ka he 1999 kuma khan Huangzhou China khan apartment leo chakhat in a small apartment khan 18 unemployed youths kha kim khomo in their mid 30s and some even in their 40s under the leadership of a guy who just resigned from his post as a private teacher in an English school tikha he 18 people kha kim khomo Huangzhou khan ama khan unemployed hi ji ko kha bangam khan business hong ti tikha hong gen do ko ama hon idea hong zero bangatiam bangol the dim ti okha they didn't have any financial resource or any well connected uncle to the politicians ti okha he ama hon bangol dem ti okha akimu khomo azo kha internet khazila hong pot thaki 1999 vel kha China khan ama hon internet hai bangam khat quality wa ti wa internet hin shopping platform ka hong ti wa they decided to do that after that few months they started working on that idea hey aloha they meet on the month of June hey and then October vela kha company neo sakat internet kha form to go funding le bag lo hi company kha sama ma the company kha the main purpose was China khazila kha economy kha close kha ama khan internet kha mang itino small handicrafts business of China will export it to the other parts of the world tika idea hi itigul khan ong bol panu 1999 khan first year of revenue kha loss he second year net profit zero chia third year kha le ama khan loss in ong ki to ilele fourth year kha ne khat net margin kha ong hoya tika hi to hi the company kha khoy tung tamiti le 22 decades later the company kha to ni Alibaba kha ong sukta the world one of the largest e-commerce giant kang sukta zila ya kha zit leader the private school teacher but ki resign pa khatuni etle Jack Ma kha hungta the richest person in China khaita tegul kha small insignificant people meeting in a small apartment tikan idea kang conceive the idea kha ama khan passionately hang work ko tuni khai tegul company last year revenue hai Alibaba ka $130 billion tigal ka he ti o khang form thei ho tu ni ka ge no chui le ta ki member tam ta ki itigul he loss of faith, loss of vision in the low lake in the self confidence le ta ka kitam mai thei he ti ta he helale itigul ki mu khomi I connect this event, this program with their meeting in that small apartment here again out here. It is all idea in a passionately the idea lama kha isep thei wood le and le 2 decades hill in 3 decades 3 years later 4 years later 5 years later free hoi tak imu thei hi chance au me ti ka again out here. Ale tuni ka topic di le road to success hi again di hakma ma bangzi ka de success ti hi a definition hi atama a definition is success di pale ke success ama adding a success lo mai the hi ama success kan success ti lo mai the ke hi the ka definition again di hak ma azo he government service lam de we hungen di ke hi keeping into perspective because that is what I have known di ka hi ka experience lo ka again the hi po so whatever little experience kan ne ho hungen di ka hi no in hungai temple de ti hi ka de hi UPSC 2019 ka graduate Cotton University Guwahati patkhan je pathaka kahung tukpana kai he kapa he lamkalam me he hilale asat na je ka khan bisun lamana sabji ka khan asama kha kumtam tagalom he je ka sama hi piang ka he asama hi kumtam takele ko ma ka studies ho khale zonai timun nyau cha khat he asama je ta ka chu ka class 12 ting kong sim to ka azo kha Guwahati hin ka graduation kong chai 2019 apat khan after that UPSC kong prepare he azo kha anom po UPSC process la ya sa hi it took me 3 attempts he and then around 4-5 years to crack this exam here so ka journey hin ka thong sia u ta azo ji pat ko bangam khanon la zel the di hile ti ka bang khadu da UPSC process hello le mitam tak mai thele hi wa ji ka UPSC dan hele na khong gen de he me kan khat che you might have attempted UPSC for 2-3 times at the same time people may be there who doesn't know what is it de kha basic pa na khong gen de he ngai the la UPSC di phal he Union Public Service Commission he board kha de he is hung in exam tam ta conduct se ka National Defence Academy ading conduct exam conduct combined defense service hello le Indian Economic Service, Indian Statistical Service, the combined geoscientist, the civil service exam, he conducts a civil service sung any head panel IAS, IPS, IFS, IRST, there are more than 15 services under the civil service here. So it's a lucrative opportunity. For example, we can have a caliber interest of bureaucracy for that also civil service opportunities for example Indian Trade Service Indian Railway Management Service Audit Account Service Indian Postal Service diverse opportunities at civil service so bureaucracy politician bureaucracy lomtia dengan opportunities tamama UPSC no henze khale kongenu da le exam process there are 3 phases prelims mains le interview prelims there are 2 papers GS1 General Studies 1 and General Studies 2 General Studies 1 history political science science subject 2 of economics and then GS2 civil service aptitude test mathematics, English, reasoning, and common sense questions just for qualifying marks. Pass the mains mains there are 8 papers, descriptive paper 2 metric exam long answer questions there are 8 papers consisting of 4 GS papers. This is interaction sessions if you want to know details about the syllabus or how to approach specific subjects you can ask any questions. And then optional papers any subject which is offered by UGC in the by approved by UGC any subject optional choose the optional paper pani saka example can anthropology kala anthropology paper 1 paper 2 here after that language paper MIL modern Indian language 8 schedule zikhala paper khatom sak hilele that paper is exempted for people students hailing from Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh Sikkim exemption simu also second paper khatom kida English language zihela qualifying paper here so that English out of 300 users have to get 175 it's basic English a fairly here after that interview test interview test here again what really works in interview it's a very subjective part of the exam here you can just try to have a good attitude, a positive attitude, and know well with the current affairs for the interview portion. A basic outline what does you feel that UPSC wants, or what is the attitude that I should have in order to clear UPSC? Question UPSC, what is the quality that UPSC wants? UPSC hello in mean again. Even UPSC doesn't know what it wants. Every year the board member changes, every year the demand changes. There is no set pattern of how they evaluate the students. It evolves with time here. Toppers, there are certain fundamental qualities which is present in all toppers here. If we try to inculcate it, at least we might come nearer to a goal. Number one, the syllabus is so big, so huge, and sometimes we study syllabus which are redundant. Why is it important? I'm going to be a bureaucrat. Why should I know what is the chemical mass of methane? I am science background. I want to go into the economical service. Why should I know under Article 21 what is it? Logic one of the logic which we can infer partly I think that hard work see syllabus you will automatically work hard in order to crack that exam here. So on the process of working hard for the last 1, 2, 3 years, working hard will become an intrinsic part of your character. I think that is one of the logic why they make the syllabus so big in Kaging Jagan. And then second, UPSC is in part time example, is it part of 250 marks in 3 hours. 100 marks in 3 hours. So 250 marks in 3 hours is here. And then two like competition nobody leaves any question. So we have to fill all the papers. So what does UPSC wants, or what does it demands from a candidate? Number two, demands discipline. So writing for 3 hours in a stretch for 250 marks, you need the discipline before the exam to sit for 3 hours. So in the process of preparing for that, discipline develop number one hard work, number two discipline imbibe. So all of these are in the process of making you an officer. So I believe that discipline is also an integral part of what UPSC wants. And number three, a question is dynamic. UPSC question what here why, how so which requires you to think instantly in the examination hall and write, and you don't have the luxury to think, to have so much time to think, because if you think too much while writing also, you will miss some questions because there's scarcity of time. In a split second you have to think and you have to write. So I think that is a way to test your innovativeness, your creativity. UPSC. So I think to the students don't take
question so now people nan do the hasanan do lo ju ba so question pomai ka sa nei le question ha kan do go de hin ke do go de le ayo ka jino se ba nga so ke ya dia wang so kana to po tin hiao le now pe ho ding a poi mo dia ka tin na kan do nom su hi le ni piam tu lai hi career hi ba le masang chun we just study and then whatever happens, happens na. But society was we are more conscious, we have career seminars, we plan what could be the right career for us. Na. My own experience in Delhi as a white among the UPSC of private na. Amolo pale, they go back home disappointed as well. Career tam ta as a same or khazin na. Aku tiada nang ma own experience aku nang nang ma IPT deha nang ma preparation aku ni zamle. Careers also it's not 100%, but there are certain personalities or capabilities which suits a particular career na. So like society in private lang say sabit, but most of the people I'm sure now they also say they aspire to be an IS or IPS officer na corporate secondary in alayin. Ako tile now they are prepared for holding maybe have those who aspire to be I bureaucrat I aspire is there certain traits or certain capabilities or certain things which makes it makes them capable or ideal for a career na itabang career pursuing itabang nang ako na zong itabang characteristic thanok na interest hobbies na ti hovel itabang UPSC pineng chance ahoy divin sile aki tu them lol na ding chance ahoy them ti chu biha thamkhat koi sang ga to no men na thamkhat specific ya se jen ke kana sim lai jen maths kana tham jen maybe engineering ani ke modi engineering ke mo chen na sita banga chu UPSC pineng IS prepare bolai IPS dinga prepare in bol ho chun loss sama swata ku waste na loading but make sure a lot in the di ba chu itabang capabilities skill set na so neile loading thei diwam ti chu na ma own experience yang le general la na ga to no men na ke ki pai
ki pa question atama what is the right career tikha hi pada so what is the personalities that is required tikha he and do certain personalities should tikha he what is the right career ti mama ji again parle Napoleon eta I forgot the name here ama khan there is no right decision. I took the decision and makes it right. Tikha hai. Because career he right career thi unke lo he. There are many people who have in the apex of their career in civil service and they return to private sectors. Tikha hai. So tikha hai and then when I was class 12 TV what career to choose? It is because of the wrong conception that once I get into this career, I will get stuck in this career for 30 years of my life. The economy is changing. After working 5-10 years, if you feel that you are made for something, you can change your career after that. So, decide because we think that I might choose the wrong career. So, just do plus minus of what you can think that you will be able to achieve and then go for that career. And if you think that you want to change your career, you don't have to go to a university online upgrade. You can upgrade your skills through homes or you can go to certain sectors. So we can change our shift our careers. For example, there are many civil servants who have even gone to mountains, Everest, climb Mount Everest. Last Saturday, IPS he shared his experience of how he wanted to be a mountaineer when he was a child. So during the process of after he came into the service, he took some kinds of leave and do something, and he climbed Mount Everest. So he shared his experience. So even in the private sector, you don't have to stuck to one career. So whatever career you choose, just do some plus minus and go for that. Try to achieve it, and after a few years, if you feel that you're not suited for it, you are most welcome to shift into other sector, provided you have gained some form of financial independence for yourself. And then what is the personality that suits to clear UPSC? What UPSC wants, even I think UPSC doesn't know. Some basic fundamental hardworking. That simple thing of hardworking in the right direction. Hardworking and sa point again that you can you don't confuse movement with progress. Progress is different, movement is different. You might be working very hard, but you're not making any progress. So working hard in the right direction. So for that, there are lots of guidance. Lack of guidance is the overburden of guidance. In YouTube, so many videos, so many lectures, follow them. Confused. So follow one guide properly, and then working hard in the right direction. And then thirdly, perseverance. Even if you have worked hard, genuinely worked hard for the last 3, 4, 5 years, result may not appear. But having that perseverance, at the same time, while having that perseverance, many UPSC aspirant boys, they prepare for many years, they have faced up the golden period of the youths preparing for UPSC, and then now they are frustrated what to do. So to like meet them so when they are preparing for UPSC, they are searching for alternative options. They are doing masters in IGNO, or they are working in some they are gaining skills as cyber security analyst. Over here. So in case if this doesn't happen, then they are ready for that. And then UPSC is a very wonderful process here, because the syllabus is very diverse. You study from art and culture to nanotechnology, from biotechnology to Harappan civilization. A diverse we study about business, we study about management in the process of exam. So even if you don't make the exam, if you have truly given some significant amount of years in UPSC, the way you think changes. And then sector business the way you will do business will change. The way you think, because you know how the economy works, you know how the political system works, you know the history, what people have done wrong. Timetable morning 6 to 10, 6 to 8. Follow it breaks. Monday, 1 week I see Monday, Tuesday, Ebola. When we can't follow it, we scrap it, I'll follow from next week. So the cycle keeps on going. So after doing that for a month, I feel that I have to change something. No, because it's all about mental game. If you can convince this, 90% of the work is done. So I went for covering syllabus. Example, book suppose I have to cover this book in 1 week. I have to cover this book in 1 week, and so suppose this book contains 7 chapters. So if this book contains 7 chapters in 7 days. So per day how many chapters? 1 chapter. So I try to, whatever I do, I watch film, I go out, no matter, but I have to complete this 1 chapter today. By hook or crook. Tikan kang follow panta. Not going by the number of times, but going by the amount of syllabus that I'm covering every day. Tikan a calculation account of panta. So that really helped me, because that helped me keep a track. For example, if I have a program, I have to meet my friend in the evening, I have to cover this chapter today. That means in the day I have to push myself hard. It helped me in that way. And then on an average, if you sit for 10 hours, you will study for 7 hours. Because there are many kinds of distractions, and it is natural, human mind. You can't concentrate on anything more than 30 minutes. You need break. So I used to at least try to sit for around 10 hours here. That is also, I want to give a occasion, 10 hours not every day here. For example, if I'm sitting for 6 hours today, I have a deficit of 4 hours. Today I can't sit 4 hours. So tomorrow I'll sit for extra 2 hours. The next day I'll sit for extra 2 hours. So that today 4 hours which I didn't sit, I'll cover in the subsequent days. Plus minus ka ibol. These decisions are your decisions. And then you have to take decisions for many people in your district. So why not start taking decisions for yourself? So I used to divide the number of syllabus that I have to cover, and then I used to go for the number of hours it requires, and then give my time accordingly. But at the same time, try to ensure that a bit of relaxation is there in between. Sometimes you can't follow your routine hard and fast, but just to bank 10 installment or credit system at the goal. If you have a deficit today, try to make it up in the subsequent days. Or if you think that Sunday I want to be totally free, work hard from Friday, Saturday, so that whatever deficit remains on Sunday, you will have to cover up in Friday, Saturday. Whatever profession you might have tried for, so you can do in that manner. Take again. Thank you.
Can coming here Mampi here. Can question ni kan damuda. Ama sa pena joile. Last week hello previous week also. Ekati Anudip Durisati UPSC CSE 2017 topper pa. To University of Hyderabad campus invitation about man lecture ahong niya. Amana say na achun. It's always good to have backup plan natin na. Kin to aga question jo hele drawing from your own context. Nangin backup plan hi poi mo na sa amo mo ngam ahila wala ka question jo nangin backup plan naninay kha ala wale why ay ahin number 2 na jo hele with regards to optional amana say git na achun kin ka optional to public administration kanibolin after 4-5 ATM achun ka success loga ki had pachun IC from public administration to anthropology ATM na chi ken ka question to ke bong to history background kaneya ai rola public administration background kaneya hiya is it a myth that there are not really few scoring subjects? I lo sociology bang to say a pattern hi vedale kumizalam khadhi topper hi in top 10 rank ho bang in sociology nan dominate themin na ke mamodan nang maga gelda na chu chi thamkhat scoring subject aum za be ati wi di na sa e di na sa ayam steni chu he ki pai
babuma backup te hi backup it is important backup more because the exam is very uncertain. Out of lucks, there's hardly 1,000 seats here. So backup is definitely important here. But don't focus too much on the backup in the initial years that your preparation get disrupted till again. At least if you're preparing for UPSC, at least for 2-3 good attempts, try to focus properly in UPSC first. Here. Many aspirants, what they do mistake is that from the first year they're focusing even on backup. Your energy gets drained here. So from the first attempt you're not able to give your heartfelt or your 100% attempt here. So backup is definitely important, but at least for 2-3 attempts try to go 100% for UPSC here. After that, if it requires, try to think of backups as well. It is definitely important. For example, if you're just finishing graduation, for the next 2-3 attempts, first try to focus properly on UPSC. In case it doesn't happen, then try to start focusing on backups, but don't try to focus on UPSC and other exams together from the first year itself. No. Try to at least give some few years to UPSC first, and then if it doesn't happen after 2-3 years, you can start thinking of your backups also, and you should do it. And then personal question, what backup did you have? After giving two good attempts, cutting can backup sa kayan pa na. Napart exam bola can napart group A kapi azo napart kapi, and then SSC CGL kapi can napart ka interview thing kachi, but I didn't clear even napart also no. And then SBI like a P, but SBI even prelims also I didn't clear. So after not clearing for 2 subsequent attempts, I went even for my backup as well. And then thirdly, a question on optional. Is there any optional that is scoring? The marking pattern how does UPSC evaluate the paper? UPSC notification detailed guidelines once they receive the paper is being it is being mixed up with different centers, and then I don't know actually if it is true. They used to call some officers, some some committee. Suppose if there is subject of economics, they will call a committee on economics, which is headed by one professor, and then he will have around 15-20 members under him, and so they will see the questions and they will say that we have to give marks based on these parameters. They decide and then they check the paper. After that, the students who are scoring some extreme high or extreme low, it is again being reviewed by the head of the member, and so that there is no any discrepancies. And then for optional, he found a marking system. After the marks of the optional subjects are being given to UPSC, the chairman of UPSC sees it again, and then if he sees any kinds of discrepancies in it, the paper is being given to another evaluator. That just to recheck, is the evaluator checking it in the right parameters? But that I don't know, I just have heard because UPSC has never disclosed that. And then does there is any definite optional which score high, which score less? I think it is a myth also, I think. But certain people does good in certain optional, that's for sure. I think it is because of the nature of syllabus. For example, if you go for zoology and if you go for anthropology, the same optional. But in zoology what happens is that the syllabus is a bit vast, and then the materials are not readily available. But anthropology, there have been people who have written the exam, so there have been ready-made materials which can be easily, so your answer writing become easier, your content become better. So that might give you an advantage. But I don't think that UPSC has any bias in giving one option over the other. For example, people think that if I take Assamese literature, I'll clear because it will be checked by an Assamese. So many people does that also, but still it doesn't happen like that. No. So there is a checks and balance becomes here. So I don't think you have to go by that myth. And what Anudeep sir said was definitely true. I think it is because of the way that he approached sociology was better, or else sociology might have better guidance than public administration. That might be one way. I have many friends who have cleared even in Puppet also. So it's not like that. We just see top 10, but there are 700-800 in the list as well. No? We have to see all of them also into account. So going by that, I think every optional has done fairly better. There are people clearing in Kannada literatures, in philosophy, in zoology, in history and whatnot. So every optional has been doing good.
About that question, Chuile, meet up the UPSC a clear path. IPS mo takin na ball sin na nang aban ball be din na domam hilole IPS mo mang katumisin kalung raising ina tiang
dana career is not definite here. you can change career here. As of now, I'm not to clear to go into IS because I want to see what the service offers in IPS and then comparison, every year there is comparison, and this comparison is endless. Suppose IS, IPSC, and then IS Chief Secretary versus DGP, Chief CS versus CMT. This comparison is unending here. So you need to learn to be happy at some point of time. So as of now, I am not thinking, but yeah, our mind are not constant. No, we keep on evolving, we keep on getting new interests. I think 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, I might want to go into private sector. I might want into having a career on creative entrepreneurship. So I think it's difficult to predict the future. No? So let's try to enjoy what we have now.
No, kelle da no kanne mo. It's two again or aspiring nesa ngan story da na chiwa mo. Tu can go to like someone interested back low, back low. How to convince can be as per non suggestion done though. Itu mi jo si kahi researcher mo kahi like kahi sport room style le kahi kahun ki padai kahi research ding hi target in low ko. Idan though ka UPSC amila he chau le kyu mai jo. Is it family really required? interest pa so hok talo so amal ma ki develop so there are some people which needs to be guided and then make him interest and then nang idea ka banga team ti ka hebo
I interest lo le chu UPSC solte ti le ngai pu poi mo pu I interest lo mi tam ta kilele tu una gen go la ka it is a genuine concern le here ke le ka na te khen ka jen te on bang ma le bon dile UPSC lam le lung lut lo til dang le lung lut lo bang le lung lut lo ti kha tam he so bei dong le ma sa ki bang pen hi gen di ham that can stimulate them ti hi kha for example bringing them the party achang le world view khale se ki the way we see life, the way we see they have the outside world might still be narrow. That might be one perspective here. So the lack of ambition so I think we can just talk with them. We can just talk with them about what are the likings, what are the career options that they have. Example, people who don't want into policing or bureaucracy, again, they don't want to come to UPSC or appear for civil service. But there are many other services also which they may love. For example, they may love to go to foreign trips, foreign services, or trade services. It's a good, wonderful opportunity. Interested about your passion, find a way to convert your passion into your profession. Because, for example, you might want to go to music, taking example, and your parents say, no, go for government exams. You say, no, I want to pursue a career in YouTube or music. So that's your passion. No, parents' perspective is also very genuine. Your perspective is also very genuine. But at some point of time, you have to think that I need some amount of money so that this can keep on going on. And if you're really interested in music, I don't discourage you. But find a way so that your passions can be sustainable for you in terms of income for your family. So that it can become your profession. Don't give your passion just for your passions and then sacrificing it for profession. So if you are doubt, suppose I also have certain passions in terms of music, TV, but I felt that I can't convert this into my profession because I don't have that much of talent also to convert this into my profession. So I thought that why not first get some profession, after that passion can be throughout life. No? So always try to have the differentiations, and then if you're serious, parents they never mean ill for us. It is just their perspective may be different. So if you're really thinking that this is right for me and this is something which I'll earn my livelihood, convince your parents, show them the logic, they'll really support you in that, if they also can see your logic. That's what I can say.
Thank you.
And just to end this, last week, an IPS officer came and he said that I went to Everest. Again, the human body is like a machine. So my job was very hectic at the but still I find ways in order to prepare myself to go to Mount Everest. Suppose again, I was posted in Ahmedabad as DIG back in 2008 at the so I didn't have time to go to prepare for going to Mount Everest. So what I used to do, office after having dinner, he goes to sleep, wake up at 12 o'clock in the night. Carries a backpack, 40 kgs, and he has one of his friend who is the owner of a 40 floor flat in Ahmedabad. So he went and asked him, said that I want to use her flat to practice. So from night 12 to 5 o'clock in the morning, he used to go up, climb 40 floor high, takes the lift, come down, go. Because he don't, it's like Ahmedabad, there is no mountain where he can prepare for that. No? So he used that. So he said that our human body is like a machine. The more you bend it, the more you model it as per you want, it will bend it at the head. We're full of energy. For example, if you run for 1 kilometer at a speed of around 10 kilometers per second, you burn hardly around 100 calories. So everyone, all of us has excess fat of around 15-16 kilos here at an average. So 1 kilogram of fat is equal to more than 10,000 calories here. So just 1 kilogram of fat here. So that much of energy is inside you here. So it just requires some amount of mentally preparing and then discipline here. And whatever your aim may be, it is achievable. If you aim for the star, you land on the moon. Even if you don't get your desired career, you'll end up in something which is good, which is fruitful. And if you successful means it is successful for your family. Inam igam successful. So with this sort, thank you so much.